Welcome back to another deep dive.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So, if you're joining us today, you probably already have um, a working understanding of esoteric energy systems.
Right, like maybe you've explored Kriya or standard pranayama.
Exactly. And you're kind of looking at where the absolute ceiling of those practices might be.
Which is exactly what we're getting into today.
Yeah, because today's source material provides a really highly systematic, almost aggressively mechanical look at that ceiling.
It really does.
We are analyzing a massive YouTube transcript from a creator known as Osman.
Widely known as the blind Muslim yogi.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack his 50-year blueprint for basically open sourcing advanced Kundalini awakening.
Which is huge because these practices have historically been, heavily guarded behind strict ashram walls.
Oh, initiation rites, heavy layers of guru-disciple gatekeeping, all of it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this, because we are looking at someone who is claiming to give away the source code for human energetic potential.
Completely for free.
Right, to anyone with an internet connection, which is just wild.
It's a fascinating juxtaposition, really.
How so?
Well, on one side, you have this highly traditional, historically secretive mapping of the subtle body. The chakras, the naides, the rising of cosmic energy.
The classic ancient framework.
Yeah. But on the other side, Osman approaches this architecture with the precision of an engineer.
He really does.
He strips away all the mysticism, the need for devotion to a specific lineage, and he replaces it with mathematical breath ratios.
And physiological triggers.
Exactly. It is a strictly cause and effect methodology applied to spiritual tech.
It's pure mechanics. And we'll be analyzing his redefinition of Kundalini, too, which is...
Oh, that part is mind-blowing.
Yeah, he doesn't see it as a mystical serpent, but as the literal cosmic universe intersecting with biological flow states.
The exact same flow states experienced by marathon runners or artists or, anyone in the zone.
Right. And we are going to scrutinize the specific 142 mathematical breathing protocol he insists is the only safe way to armor the nervous system for this energy.
You definitely have to armor up for this.
For sure. But we also need to keep our analytical lens sharp here.
Always.
Because he makes some staggering claims along the way about physical health, bioenergy healing, and the ultimate evolutionary endgame of the human body.
Yeah, and to properly weigh those claims, we really have to look at the practitioner presenting them.
Let's talk about Osman's background.
Right, because it's extensive and highly unusual. He states he's been deeply embedded in advanced yoga and meditation for 50 years.
50 years,
Yeah.
and teaching for 46 of them.
Exactly. He actually notes achieving his first state of samadhi at the age of 19.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was following periods where he was practicing up to 18 hours a day.
18 hours. That's almost unfathomable discipline.
It is. And even now, he mentions maintaining a regimen of 8 to 10 hours daily.
Just to maintain it?
Yeah, just to, as he puts it, sharpen the sword.
That's incredible. And we should mention he is entirely blind.
Right.
Which adds an incredible layer of complexity to his mastery of these heavily visual and spatial internal practices.
Absolutely.
But where the source material requires some intense critical scrutiny is his secondary profession.
The healing work.
Yeah. Alongside his free YouTube teachings, he operates as a master-level bioenergy healer.
And the claims here are big.
Very big. He claims to use principles of quantum entanglement to perform telepathic healing.
Specifically targeting critical care recovery and terminal illnesses.
Right. And that is where we really have to pause and apply heavy skepticism.
We have to. A bioenergy healer claiming an over 90% success rate in end-of-life care.
Especially stepping in when traditional oncology or internal medicine has failed.
Yeah, that is an extraordinary paradigm-shifting claim.
It really is. Now, we are analyzing his framework here, not validating his medical outcomes.
Of course.
But it is crucial to note how he positions this work.
Right, because he explicitly states his treatments are complementary.
Yes, that's a huge point.
He is adamant that his energetic interventions are not a replacement for standard medical science.
Right, he's not saying don't go to the doctor.
Exactly. He sees his work as an enhancement of the body's underlying energetic grid, which he argues traditional medicine just completely ignores.
And because of that success rate and the intensity of his training, he charges a premium for those specific one-on-one healing services through his platform.
Right, at yogawellness786.com.
Yeah. But what makes this deep dive so compelling to me is that he divorces his paid healing work entirely from the spiritual technology he is teaching.
They're completely separate.
Right. He doesn't hide the advanced Kriya sequences behind a paywall. He doesn't demand you buy a course to learn the final breath retention ratios.
No, he just puts it out there.
I mean, he spent 3 years battling the YouTube interface without sight just to upload the core protocols for free.
Just figuring out the tech to give this away.
Yep.
And, that decision to open source the methodology is a radical departure from the traditions he actually studied.
Because he pulled from a lot of different sources, right?
Oh, everywhere. He synthesized his knowledge from various global schools, the Far East, the Middle East, Western esoteric traditions, and modern scientific frameworks.
He really blended it all together.
Yeah. And historically, to access the specific central channel techniques he is openly broadcasting right now.
You have to find a living master.
Right, and prove your worth over decades.
Yep.
Osman points directly to organizations like the Self-Realization Fellowship, founded by Paramahansa Yogananda.
The classic California ashram model.
Exactly. To learn their advanced Kriya techniques, practitioners historically had to sign agreements, adhere to strict organizational rules, and make formal pledges.
And Osman actively rebels against that model.
Completely.
He flat out refuses the subjugation of the guru-disciple dynamic. He says he made it a point never to be formally initiated by a guru.
Which is unheard of in those circles.
It's a total act of spiritual democratization. He is looking at a highly stressed, globalized population in the 21st century.
Us.
Yeah, us. And he's arguing that this biological technology belongs to everyone, not just those willing to retreat to an ashram.
It's a very pragmatic view of spirituality. He sees the old gatekeeping models as obsolete.
Or even harmful.
Yeah, exactly, given the current trajectory of modern civilization.
And that perspective perfectly frames his most provocative argument.
The Kundalini stuff.
Yeah, his complete redefinition of what Kundalini energy actually is.
And why it's waking up involuntarily in people right now.
People who are entirely unequipped to handle it.
Right.
So the way he frames Kundalini strips away all the esoteric fluff. He defines it strictly as the energy of the cosmic universe.
Just raw cosmic voltage.
Exactly. And he poses a simple biological question. What human nervous system can contain the voltage of the entire cosmos?
And his answer is obviously none.
None. Zero.
Which is why he issues such severe warnings about involuntary awakening.
They are no joke.
In traditional yogic literature, a spontaneous Kundalini rise without the proper noetic clearing is notoriously dangerous.
It can wreck you.
Completely. We've seen this documented extensively in the works of 20th century practitioners like Gopi Krishna.
Oh, right, who detailed years of physical torment.
Torment, psychological breakdown, all after an unprepared awakening. And Osman argues the exact same point.
It's a short circuit.
Yeah, he states that when this massive current hits a physical and energetic body that hasn't built the necessary conductive pathways.
The plumbing isn't there.
Right. The friction manifests as severe pathology.
And he points out that Western medicine has absolutely no diagnostic framework for an energetic blowout.
None at all.
So, people experiencing this are routinely misdiagnosed. He mentions they are labeled psychotic, schizophrenic, or showing sudden signs of dementia.
They end up institutionalized.
Or heavily medicated, all because a cosmic current breached a fragile nervous system.
What's fascinating here is Osman's analysis of modern culture.
Yeah, how we're doing this to ourselves.
Exactly. He argues that our intensive, analytical, screen-driven, highly stressed modern lifestyles are inadvertently acting as a trigger.
We are constantly running our nervous systems at maximum capacity.
Overthinking, obsessively analyzing.
And inadvertently flipping the switch on this energy.
Without having done a single day of the necessary physical armoring.
It's a recipe for disaster. But if the danger is so prevalent, what does this energy actually look like when it sparks in daily life?
Well, Osman maps this cosmic energy directly to the sacral region.
The Swadhisthana chakra.
Right, or the Manipura region. He refers to it as the fluid state.
The fluid state.
And he connects it to something most of us have experienced or witnessed.
The flow state.
Exactly. Connecting the esoteric Kundalini directly to the neurobiological flow state is his defining thesis.
It makes it so relatable.
It really does. He provides 3 highly relatable examples of this energy activating at the second chakra.
What's the first one?
The first is the athlete. Consider the long-distance runner who pushes through the physical agony, hits the wall, and suddenly experiences that second wind.
Ah, right. The runner's high.
Yeah, but the struggle evaporates, and they are just gliding effortlessly. Osman states that in that precise biological moment, The Kundalini has risen to the Swadhisthana.
It is a localized, temporary awakening.
Exactly.
And he gives another example that happens, every weekend.
The club goer.
Yeah, you go to a club, your favorite track comes on, and you lose yourself completely in the rhythm. You aren't thinking about your body or the people around you.
You are entirely submerged in a blissful, effortless movement.
And he categorizes that as an accidental spark of cosmic energy entering the fluid state.
But the most compelling example he offers is Sylvester Stallone writing the script for Rocky.
Oh, this was wild to read.
Right. Osman points out that Stallone wrote that entire script in a single, uninterrupted 9-hour session.
9 hours straight.
The creativity didn't come from analytical struggle. It poured out of him autonomously.
Like he tapped into something else.
Osman argues that Stallone's Kundalini was awake and anchored in the sacral chakra for those 9 hours.
Which is a massive surge of energy.
It is, and he makes a critical observation here. Stallone could handle that massive, sustained creative surge without burning out his nervous system because he was already highly physically disciplined.
His physical body was robust enough to safely channel the voltage.
Exactly.
Now let's play devil's advocate here for a second.
Sure.
It is very easy to retroactively label any moment of high performance as Kundalini.
True.
But by framing flow states as second chakra activations, he really demystifies the entire concept.
He brings it down to earth.
Yeah. It forces you to wonder how many times you've touched the absolute edge of this cosmic current while, I don't know, deep in a coding session or painting or writing without recognizing the energetic mechanics at play.
It grounds the esoteric in peak human performance. But it also introduces a massive problem.
The burnout.
Right. If we are accidentally triggering these flow states, these micro-awakenings in our daily lives, and the voltage is inherently dangerous to an unprepared nervous system.
How do we build the internal architecture to handle it safely and permanently?
Which brings us directly to his physical blueprint.
Right, because Osman is adamant that you cannot meditate your way into structural safety.
You have to build the plumbing.
And he provides a strictly mathematical 4-level pranayama protocol designed to do exactly that.
To clear out what he identifies as the 114 chakras and the 72,000 nadis.
The energy channels.
Exactly. Now, you're probably already familiar with standard alternate nostril breathing.
Anulum vilum.
Right. But what makes Osman's protocol distinct and highly advanced is the intense focus on kumbhaka.
The breath retention phase.
Yes. The entire system is built on a 1-4-2 ratio. 1 unit of inhalation, 4 units of retention, 2 units of exhalation.
And he breaks this progression into 4 mandatory levels, right?
And the math scales aggressively.
So level 1 is the baseline, 4-16-8. You inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath in the lungs for 16, and exhale for 8.
And you are physically clapping the nostrils shut during the retention.
Right, closing it off completely. Now, the rule of progression here is brutal. He states you must complete 21 uninterrupted rounds of a level until it feels entirely effortless.
He uses the phrase easy peasy as his primary diagnostic tool.
Which sounds cute, but it's actually grueling.
It's actually a brilliant physiological marker when you first attempt a 16-count hold, let alone a 6-4-count hold later on.
Your body panics.
Totally. CO2 builds up in the bloodstream, the vagus nerve sounds the alarm, and you experience breathlessness, psychological friction, and physical distress.
The fight or flight kicks in.
Yes. And Osman interprets that struggle not just as poor lung capacity, but as the physical manifestation of energetic blockages in the nadis.
That friction is you hitting a blockage.
Exactly. As you subject the system to this mathematical stress test day after day, the body's CO2 tolerance shifts.
The vagal tone improves.
And those energetic pathways dilate. What was once a suffocating struggle eventually becomes biologically and energetically silent.
Easy peasy.
Right.
So only when 21 continuous rounds of level 1 are effortless do you multiply the base by 2.
Moving to level 2.
Right, which becomes 8, 32, 16. Then level 3 multiplies by 3. 12, 48, 24.
Getting serious now.
Yeah. And finally, you reach the ceiling he sets. Level 4, which is 16, 64, 32.
You are inhaling for 16, holding a lungful of air for an agonizing 64 counts, and slowly exhaling over 32.
But, and this is critical, we have to talk about how he counts.
Oh, this raises an important question regarding the physiological and psychological discipline required here.
Because he's not using a clock.
Right. We're so accustomed to digital stopwatches. But Osman points out that the ancient yogis who engineered these protocols didn't have Apple Watches.
They didn't have timers.
No. A second, in this context, is a natural resting heartbeat. He notes that counting to 100 in this internal biological rhythm roughly equates to 60 clock seconds.
Okay, so it's a bit faster than a clock second.
Yeah, but this is crucial because it forces the practitioner to tune into their internal metronome.
Oh, I see. If you panic.
Your heart races, your count speeds up, and you fail the sequence.
Because you run out of breath faster.
Exactly. The math forces self-regulation, emphasizes natural biological pacing over rigid digital timing.
It is literally a self-regulating safety valve built directly into the open source code. You physically cannot advance to the dangerous levels of energy manipulation until your physiology proves it can handle the pressure.
There's no guru to lie to. The math exposes your blockages.
I love that. So let's assume someone puts in the grueling months or years required to reach level 4.
A huge commitment.
Yeah. They are sitting there, effortlessly executing 21 rounds of 16-64-32. The 114 chakras are cleared. The 72,080s are scrubbed. The plumbing is ready.
Ready for the spark.
Right. If the physical architecture is in place, what is the actual catalyst for the awakening?
So the intentional strike happens on the absolute last breath of the sequence.
The very end.
Yeah. On the 21st round of level 4, during that final 64-count kumbhaka, the lungs are fully oxygenated. And Osman stresses the mechanical necessity of drawing in maximum air on every single round.
The lungs must be packed tight.
Packed.
And during that final 64-count hold, he introduces a specific internal visualization and physical pressure.
This is where it gets intense.
He tells you to visualize a balloon in your chest. Then you apply an intense downward internal pressure toward the base of the spine.
He uses the imagery of taking a 5-pound hammer and violently striking the base of the spine, which he calls the head.
And you hold that severe downward push for a count of 20 to 30?
Right. In yogic anatomy, you are forcing the pranavayu, the upward-moving energy of the breath downward, to violently intersect with the apanavayu.
Which is the downward-moving energy at the base of the spine.
Exactly. The preparation was the gathering of the fuel, the cleared chakras or the chimney, and this intense downward hammer strike is the spark.
So what does this all mean for the person sitting there? Like, what actually happens?
Well, Osman is very specific about the immediate physical results of that strike. He says you will feel a trickle of energy begin to rise.
A trickle.
Usually, yes. But he introduces a fascinating physiological variable here, diet.
Oh, right.
He states that if you maintain a plant-based or vegan diet, or if you are a long-term practitioner, your nervous system is much more highly conductive.
The wires are cleaner.
Yeah. And for those individuals, it won't be a slow trickle. The energy can rise with an explosive, concussive force.
Which can physically and psychologically destabilize you if you lose your focus.
Exactly. And that highly conductive state is exactly why he draws a hard, uncompromising line regarding safety.
The ceiling.
Yes. He explicitly warns against progressing past the 16-64-32 ratio for the inhale and hold.
Even if you feel like you can.
Right. He admits he is capable of holding his breath for much longer counts, but he realized it crosses the line from spiritual discipline into neurological self-harm.
The risk is brain oxygen deprivation.
Yes, cerebral hypoxia. The moment you push past that mathematical ceiling to chase a deeper high, you risk starving the brain of oxygen and causing permanent tissue damage.
It's incredibly rare to find an esoteric guide who prioritizes the prevention of cerebral hypoxia over spiritual ambition.
Most just say push harder.
Right. But if 16-64-32 is the absolute hard ceiling for the inhalation cycle, how does a practitioner continue to advance their energetic capacity?
Well, Osman doesn't stop there. He introduces a fourth dimension to the breathing cycle.
The box method.
Exactly. To increase the energetic pressure without increasing the risk of hypoxia from extended full lung holds, he utilizes Baha Kumbhaka.
Which is holding the breath out.
Right, keeping the lungs empty. So after the 32-count exhale, you keep the lungs completely empty.
Which is terrifying for the body.
Oh, absolutely. He advises starting with a brief hold of 2 to 5 counts and slowly acclimating the nervous system. The ultimate mastery of this physical protocol is a perfect agonizing box.
Inhale 16.
Hold full for 64.
Exhale 32.
And hold the lungs completely empty for 64 counts.
The physiological panic of holding your lungs completely empty for 64 heartbeats, immediately following a 34-count full hold, is staggering.
The vagus nerve would be screaming.
Loudly.
But Osman states that achieving this specific box signifies the ultimate physical milestone.
Which is the complete unobstructed clearing of the Sushumna Nadi.
Yes, the Sushumna is the central energetic channel running straight up the spinal column.
Right.
Osman claims that once the box method clears this specific pathway, the mechanical forcing of the energy is no longer necessary.
It just happens.
The Kundalini will begin to rise autonomously and safely, seeking its own expansion toward infinity.
You have essentially automated the flow state.
That's a great way to put it.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, if we shift our focus from the intense physical mechanics, clamping the nostrils, surviving the CO2 buildup, striking the spine, what is the actual end game here?
The ultimate goal.
Yeah, because mastering a 64-count empty lung hold is a parlor trick if it doesn't serve a higher evolutionary purpose.
Exactly. And Osman lays out a progression of bodily transformations that push right into the realm of science fiction.
It gets wild here.
Very wild. Once the Sushumna is clear and the cosmic current is flowing continuously, Osman describes the advancement of the energy body.
Okay, so the subtle architecture begins to permeate and actively spiritualize the dense physical tissues.
Right. He claims this sustained high-voltage state grants immunity to standard physical ailments.
Which is a massive claim.
It is. He says it significantly decelerates the biological aging process and possesses the capacity to reverse existing disease.
And we have to view those claims through the exact same critical lens we applied to his telepathic healing rates earlier.
Absolutely.
Slowing cellular aging via meditation is one thing. Claiming absolute immunity to physical ailments is a massive leap.
But for Osman, upgrading the physical body is merely phase one.
Phase one.
Yeah, he says the next stage is the activation of the soul body, where the physical form begins its transition into a light body.
A light body.
And the absolute ultimate aim of this entire open source blueprint is the attainment of the deathless body.
The deathless body. It sounds purely metaphorical.
It does, but Osman anchors it in supposed historical precedent.
Right. He directs the listener to an academic thesis.
Available on Amazon, actually.
Which is hilarious to me.
Right. It's titled RG and the Deathless Body, authored by Tulsi Ram or Tulsi Das, depending on the translation.
And it investigates a historical figure named Valar who allegedly achieved this exact cellular transmutation.
Yes. Now, he readily admits that attaining a deathless body in a single lifetime is phenomenally rare.
To put it mildly.
But he insists it is the correct mathematical trajectory of the practice.
He is pointing to Amazon to validate a concept of physical immortality. It perfectly encapsulates his approach.
It really does.
And his pragmatic, almost ruthless dismantling of tradition extends to the other common tools of esoteric practice, too.
Deities and mantras.
Yes. If you are pursuing a deathless body in a traditional lineage, you are deeply entrenched in guru worship, complex rituals, and secret mantras whispered in your ear during initiation.
Osman completely bypasses that entire religious structure.
He just ignores it.
He views mantras not as sacred secrets requiring a guru's permission, but as open-source software patches.
Software patches. I love that analogy.
He argues that the devas and divas, the traditional gods and goddesses of the yogic pantheon, are not supreme beings demanding your worship and subjugation.
Right. He translates those terms purely as powers or frequencies.
They are highly tuned energetic bandwidths.
And he literally says you can just go on Google, find a mantra you resonate with, and start reciting it.
Just Google it.
The idea of Googling a sacred frequency to tune your light body is wildly disruptive to traditional dogmatic structures.
It is. And he reinforces this by referencing Sadhguru's teachings on ancient architecture.
Oh, about the temples.
Right. Osman notes that traditional temples were not originally designed strictly as places of subservient worship.
They were engineered as power centers.
Exactly. Architectural batteries built to imbibe and resonate with specific energetic frequencies.
So you don't go there to bow down to a statue.
No, you go there to sit within the electromagnetic field.
Absorb the ambient charge into your cleared nadis and leave.
Right. He says, I will not worship the devas and divas. Just because they are higher frequency entities doesn't mean I'm going to sit down and worship them.
He has taken ancient religion and completely reverse engineered it into spiritual technology.
That's exactly what he's done.
You use the 1-4-2 breath work to upgrade your biological hardware. You use the hammer strike to connect to the cosmic internet. You Google a mantra to tune your frequency. And you visit a temple merely to fast charge your battery.
It is a strictly cause and effect universe.
Utterly devoid of guilt, hierarchy, or the need for a middleman.
It is a profoundly empowering framework, but you have to realize it places the entire burden of evolution squarely on the shoulders of the practitioner.
Yeah, there is no guru to save you.
Only the math of the breath and the discipline of the practice.
Wow. So we have traversed an immense amount of ground today.
We really have.
We analyze a 50-year veteran, the blind Muslim Yogi, who bypassed traditional gatekeepers to upload the mechanical blueprint for cosmic energy to YouTube.
We looked at how he redefined the esoteric Kundalini as the biological flow state driving peak human performance.
We broke down the intense physiological reality of the 16-64-32-64 box method, the necessity of clearing 114 chakras, and the theoretical endgame of transmuting the physical form into a deathless light body using open-source frequencies.
But we want to ground this massive architectural theory back into your immediate reality.
Yeah, because it can sound so far out there.
Right. The elegance of Osman's mathematical system is its scalability.
You don't have to pursue the light body to extract value from the code.
Exactly. Simply engaging with level 1, the 4:16:8 ratio, initiates profound shifts in vagal tone
CO2 tolerance.
and the clearing of minor energetic blockages. You are actively training your nervous system to maintain profound calm under extreme physiological pressure.
It is an immediate, actionable upgrade to your baseline operating system.
Even just 5 minutes a day.
Right. And we want to leave you with a completely different angle to ponder as you process this deep dive.
A macro view.
Yeah. We've spent this entire time focused on individual biological transformation. But consider the macro implications of what Osman is doing.
If this highly potent, historically guarded spiritual technology is successfully, completely open-sourced,
Mathematically verified and freely distributed on platforms like YouTube. What happens to the institution of religion itself?
it's a paradigm shift.
If anyone can literally Google a mantra and systematically trigger a localized cosmic flow state in their living room, do we eventually outgrow the need for ashrams, temples, and spiritual hierarchies altogether?
It's a fascinating question about the future of human belief systems.
It really is. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the mechanics of the cosmic universe.
It's been a wild ride.
We hope it challenged your understanding of human potential and gave you a new lens through which to view your own internal architecture. Until next time, keep questioning the frameworks, keep exploring the limits, and keep diving deep.